next guest, a very talented comedian and actor you know from shows like Tires and movies like Begonia. His stand-up special, Uncle Stav, is streaming September 8th on Netflix. You can also see him in the film Tony, which is in theaters in New York and LA August 7th and everywhere August 21st. Let's take a look.
You know I can cook, too.
Excuse me?
Kid says he's a cook, chef.
Yeah, wonderful.
I'm not a cook. I'm a writer. I said I could cook.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. Shut the up.
My dad's like one of the best chefs in New Jersey.
Oh, your dad? Why didn't you say so? Whatever. You know what? I'm sorry, brother. You're a cook. Help me plate these. You help me out. I'm behind, please.
All right.
Jesus! Hey!
Please welcome back to the show our friend Stavros Halkias, everybody! Welcome back, my friend!
Thank you for having me, my friend.
Congrats on the movie. Very exciting. Anthony Bourdain, young Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
You play a line cook. You never worked in a restaurant, though.
No, my mom was a waitress at a Greek restaurant, so like a lot of my life was spent like waiting for her to come back with leftovers.
Yep.
You know, like a lot
Sure,
of,
sure.
Like, you know, every Saturday. Honestly, why I love Saturday Night Live was because as a fat child, I was like, I would stay up and be like, come on, calamari, come on, calamari, you know? So that was like sort of my love of comedy and fried food all came together.
That's
because
fantastic.
my mom worked at Ikaros restaurant in Baltimore.
If comedy hadn't worked out, did you ever think you would use a restaurant as a landing spot?
Yeah, I mean, look, I do definitely have diner physiognomy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I am meant to be like, the split pea soup, very good today.
Oh, yeah, so you're a natural. Like,
Dude,
right away, I was like, oh,
it's
yeah.
in fact, my eyes will, I feel like, am I a diner worker dreaming about being on this show, or am I a comedian thinking about being a diner owner? I don't know.
You don't know which is the dream and which is reality.
Yeah, exactly. But I could, listen, it's not very different. I mean, like, if you think about what a line cook is, especially in this movie, they're like hungover scumbags, you know, they're doing a bad job and just hoping to catch like a beautiful waitress in the lowest moment of her life.
Right.
Is that different from a stand-up comic? You know what I mean? I think
Yeah, you're right.
I think that is
They
what
are
my
running
life
in
is like.
parallel
Yes,
with
yeah,
one
yeah,
another.
yeah,
That's
absolutely
fantastic.
right, yeah.
But would you, like, your dream role, is it like maitre d'? Is it like...
Yeah. I want to be the guy that comes out and says, how are we doing today? How is the, you know? Oh, Jessica's getting so big. You know what I mean? I want to be that guy. I want to be a pillar of the community. You know what I mean?
You want to watch a whole community grow up.
Dude, there was no one I respected more than the guy who could give me free rice pudding. You know what I mean? Like, who could give me who could give me like desserts, like that glass case, you know, in a diner.
Yeah.
The guy who could be like, some cheesecake. You know what I mean? As a child, that was the most powerful man I could imagine becoming.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to, you know, if it doesn't work out, which, you know, soon, trust me, it's going downhill.
I don't think that's the case, but if you end up in a diner, I will be stopping by to see if I make the dessert cut.
Yes, buddy, carrot cake on me. Don't you even worry about it.
You cook a lot of seafood in this film.
Yes.
Your character, and obviously, look, it's going to be real seafood. And I'm wondering, did you take advantage? Did you get to eat a little bit of the set?
Yeah, so I was the lobster. Yeah. I was just the counters. I'm gnawing on them. I was the lobster roll guy. That was my station. So I averaged truly 7 to 9 lobster rolls a day. You know what I mean? And we're talking full. They're disgusted. But
did you ever
mayonnaise, you animals? Yeah.
Did you? But for you, it's fine. You never got tired of them.
Oh, dude. I mean, to have access to limitless lobster
is
a dream. And in fact, like, look, I'm doing good. My stand-up, I'm doing good stand-up wise and podcast wise. Acting, I'm still in the like, please put me in this movie, Mr. Show Business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't pay me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't make any. Like, I make the legal lowest
So they're
amount.
paying you the minimum.
Shout out to unions. If it wasn't for them, I would have made no money whatsoever.
Gotcha. Guild minimum.
Guild minimum, brother. I'm telling you, they still lost money on me because of how much lobster I ate. Yeah.
And they're like, we need a union to keep this guy from eating our lobster. This is great. We're getting killed on the lobster.
Absolutely. The lobster
you
market
did.
is tough.
You didn't just get lobster from the set.
No, that is true.
You brought a photo, and I don't know if you can tell, but this underneath here, this looks currently familiar.
What do you guys think?
So you're wearing.
That's right.
You're wearing that shirt right
That's
now.
right. Look, if it's lobster, it's a shirt. I'm coming out in the black, one way or the other.
Gotcha.
That's how, so.
They usually keep a pretty good eye on wardrobe going in and out. Did they
Yeah.
know that you left with the shirt?
They did. In fact, it became a real problem because they had to do reshoots without me. They had to get like a. I was on tour, and so they needed to get some Rubenesque gentleman to sort of. They needed like a fat shoulder in a couple shots, and so I got a panicked text from our costumers like, "Where are the shirts? Where are all your shirts?" And I was like, "I got you, baby girl. Don't worry about it." But I did keep one because I knew,
Yeah.
For late night, I got to wear a free
Oh, man,
shirt.
it's a
You know what I
good
mean?
looking shirt.
I also was gifted. I stole this suit from a commercial also. So
I mean, the whole look is outstanding.
the
Right
shoes, are the only thing I paid for. Extra wide. Yeah, you can't steal those. You got to get those special made.
Were you a fan of Anthony Bourdain?
I was a huge fan. Yeah, because it's like you rarely get as like a I think like the standard going into like college. You read Kitchen Confidential. You're like, yeah, dude, I'm different from you guys. I'm not like you guys. I like cool stuff like Bourdain. You know?
Yeah.
And so that was like a big part of like becoming an atheist, smoking cigarettes, and reading about sous vide stuff. You know what I mean? And so I loved him, and it's also the rare time that a cool guy, like a guy with a handsome guy, a little earring, black T-shirt. He's also a glutton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you never get like a cool guy who does drugs who also likes ribeyes. You know?
Yeah.
So it was like me as a little fat kid. It's like I created a hero in a lab. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like a punk guy who bangs awesome chick. Sorry, guy. I know it's who has nice relationships with women and he knows about I don't know what's a good luxurious food.
I don't know, like foie gras.
Although
I said like foie gras. I don't know. I said it like a guy who doesn't know. You're not Bourdain.
I know. You know what's funny? I was thinking foie gras, and I didn't want to do what you just did. You know what I mean? I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, I took the bullet.
panicked,
I
and
took the bullet.
Like a good host,
Yeah.
you covered
I'll
me.
go
and
foie
thank you.
gras.
Yeah.
I'll say foie gras. So Matt Johnson, who directed this,
Yes.
then directed your stand-up special.
Yes.
Congrats! I can't wait
Thank
to see
you,
it.
thank you, thank you.
Uncle Staff.
That's right.
And but you had an incident. You almost did you actually have to postpone?
Yeah, so I was supposed to film the special in April, and 3 days before I got there, 3 days before the taping, there's no elegant way to put this, had a scooter accident.
Okay.
And I fell off a scooter and broke my arm, which is like what a child. It's like a child's injury. You know what I mean? It's like.
What were you doing right before you tumbled?
I was, I'm going there. I'm like, I got to get in the zone. Right?
Sure.
I'm taping my special.
Absolutely, pre-special.
Pre-special, no foie gras.
No.
Right? No carrot cake. I got a meal prep.
Yep.
Right? So as I'm driving, I order groceries. Very unsafe, but I needed to be trim for the special. So I order some healthy groceries. I'm like, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna get ready to go. And then I get to my place in Baltimore. I have a house in Baltimore. Forgot my key in New York. So I'm like, I got my friend is 15 minutes away. It's a nice walk. Get my steps in. I'm already healthier. Who cares?
Yeah.
So I'm walking over to my friend Christina's place, and I'd forgotten my healthy groceries. I get the notification 5 minutes into this beautiful walk. My groceries are there, and I can't. I can't let this go to waste. We're talking about primo low-calorie ice cream, right?
right.
Like I can't.
You can't let that
We're
melt.
talking about $12 worth of Halo Top right here, right? So
You gotta move.
So I'm like, and what do I see? My savior, a scooter, one of those orange little guys, like
Yep,
a bird scooter, whatever brand it was. Spin, actually. I want them to get the bad PR. It was that. It was the orange Spin. Count your days. I see this Spin. I'm like, great. I'm popping on. I'm gonna zoom to Christina's, get the key, come back. Barely any damage on the Halo Top, right? So now what I hadn't accounted for, it's a windy day.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a little cap, right? I'm trying out baseball caps right now, Seth. That's the thing I'm getting into.
There's a lot happening right now that you're destined to crack.
I'm exploring a lot right now.
Yeah.
And so I've got this little cap. It's a windy day. And literally like a cartoon character, the wind blows me out. I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, whoa. And then the worst part is, moments before I do this like Benny Hill level comedy thing that ruins my life, a fan sees me riding the scooter, hilarious already, right?
Yeah.
Like,
This is a dream come true for that. Yeah.
He's seeing me in the most whimsical state you could see me, right?
Yeah.
That's what I get for being a 37-year-old fat man trying to be whimsical, right? Trying to do whimsical transportation, right? He sees me, I wave to him, and truly seconds later I crash.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like on the ground. This guy's like, huh? He just sees me. It's like this magical moment he's gonna tell his friends about. And then he comes out and this is how embarrassing it was. He like felt like he had to check on me. Like he was like, oh no. So he comes out, he's like, are you okay? And I was like, yes! Go away! I need to be alone right now. So I just was very rude to a guy. It was horrible, man. But yes, that's what I get for, I said, whimsical transportation.
Yeah.
That's over for me. But yeah, I truly fell off a scooter, and it almost ruined my life. I had to postpone the special. And we sold 8,000 tickets to this, which was a huge.
God, that's
I did the
amazing.
lyric, my favorite. Yeah.
Congrats.
The lyric is my favorite. It's such a beautiful theater. I saw Chris Rock there when I was 18 years old, and it was like literally the like all the way in the back, right? And it was it was so important to me to do it in that place. It mattered so much to me, but that's a lot of tickets to move for two. And we emailed everybody 2 days before, and it's like, hey guys, sorry, can you please come back in 2 months? It'll mean a lot to me. And shout out to Baltimore, man, my hometown. Thank you so much, because they came out, yep. And so we still got it done, but yeah, it was very, very harrowing. And I literally, the week before I threw my back out, I had to get cortisone shots. Like I was losing my voice. I had to get like steroids for my voice. I was juiced up like a guy playing in like the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like a guy who tears his ACL to do stand-up.
Yeah.
To stand up
Yeah.
for 2 hours. I needed a bevy of steroids to keep me upright.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. I can't wait to see the special. Thanks so much for being here, man.
Dude,
Congrats
anytime.
on the movie.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Stavros Hawkins, everybody. Tony is in theaters in New York and LA August 7th and everywhere August 21st. Uncle Stav is streaming September 8th on Netflix. We'll be right back with Dan Mintz.